Hey guys, welcome to today's Amazon PPC Q&A live on Facebook Live. It's my first one, and yeah, we're gonna see how this does. So today is September 6th, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Oh wow, we have a couple people joining: J-Mix, Pavel, Stefan. Cool. If you guys have any Amazon PPC questions, just write a comment, and yeah, I can answer it. We can work through it together. Oh, Mike, what's going on, Mike? My man. Cool. Dude, Mike joined. Excited. Hi, J-Mix. How's it going? Cool. I'll wait a couple minutes and see if we have other people join as well. Oh, cool. Somebody's like bumping it up. Whoa. It's a lot of love coming in from J-Mix. A lot of love. Ratuja. Welcome, Ratuja. Hey, what's going on, Augustus? What's going on, my man? Cool. It's like a few minutes in. Let me check. 5 minutes in. So we don't have any questions after 5 minutes. I think I'll go like till 15 after 3. And if we don't have any questions, I'll chalk it up to, a different form. I'll do a different format. So like maybe Ratuja. Hey, Ratuja. Welcome. Cool. Hey, Augustus. We got Neha. What's going on, Neha? Day number 2 with me. I might, since we don't have any questions, next time I might do like a topic or something where I discuss some more of the technical aspects of PPC. Adil Khan, welcome to the live Q&A. If you have any questions, just comment, write them as a comment, and I will answer them. Any questions about Amazon PPC or just really anything, it's a Q&A. So how to optimize auto PPC. So Adil Khan asks how to optimize auto PPC. So Adil, are you referring to auto campaigns, right? I just want to confirm real quick. And if I don't get a comment back, I'll make the assumption it's a yes. Brad. Cool. I was making an assumption that it's auto campaigns. All right, so let's go through auto campaigns. Yes. All right, perfect. So Auto campaigns are tricky, right? Because I would say that out of Amazon PPC, auto campaigns are kind of like the wild, wild west of campaign types, because the traffic is less controlled. Because with a keyword, right? If you're bidding on a keyword, you control the traffic. But with auto campaigns, there's a lot more freedom for Amazon to send traffic wherever they feel is best based on your category and the indexation of your keywords, right? The relevancy. And so the best way to optimize auto campaigns, I would say it's gotten better with auto campaigns, optimizing them. And I'll tell you why. Because back in November, so pre-November 2018, basically what happened was you have an auto campaign with one ad group, and you could only manage the bids at the ad group level. But in November, they rolled out what they call enhanced SP auto targeting, where when you launch an auto campaign with an ad group, it has 4 targeting types: close match, loose match, substitutes, and complements. So that makes it a little easier to bid. What we do is, the way that we optimize the auto campaigns is we use a formula to cut the ACoS. So we find the difference between your current ACoS and your target ACoS, and then we change the bid based on that formula. So for example, let's say you have loose match in your auto campaign and the ACoS is 50% in the last 14 days, and your target ACoS is 30%, then we would decrease the bid by 20%. Now, that is how we would optimize the targets if they have a sale and they have an ACoS. But if they don't have a sale and they're bleeding, then we use, I think it's 12 clicks. So if it has 12 or more clicks and no sales, then we make it equivalent to the cost per click. So the bid would be equivalent to the cost per click. So let's say you had close match and it had 14 clicks and it had no sales. Then what would happen is we would, and the bid was $2 and the CPC was $1.50. Then what we would do is change it from $2 to $1.50. So we would just make the new bid equivalent to the CPC. And the reason we do that, we don't cut it too hard, is because we still want to be competitive in the ad auction. Just because, when you change your bids, you get placed in different areas of the ad auction so that you might get sales after changing the bid. Does that help, Adil? Does that answer your question? All right, let me just comment. So it's really, if I was to simplify it, all right, hold on. Let's see. So if we were to simplify it, it's pretty much 2 optimizations. Also, we do find that some of our students in our training program, I don't use a lot of negative keywords because I haven't found a scalable approach to it, but we do have students that are using negative keywords. They'll add like click thresholds, like X or more clicks and no sales, and they'll negative exact that search term. We find that helps as well. So it's really 3 optimizations. It's the cutting the bleeders, like I talked about earlier, adjusting the bid based on the target ACoS, the delta between the target and current, and then negatives. I don't use a ton of negatives, but we have people that use negatives. Let's see, all right, Adil has another question. All right, actually, hold on. Oh, we got questions. I was a little nervous, not gonna lie to you. What's the best strategy to drive organic keyword rank using AMS? This is from Reagan Lewis. It's a good question. Organic keyword rank using Reagan Lewis. Historically, because hold on, give me one sec. Let me go back into the deep recesses of my mind and see if because I worked with Taylor. He did AMS, Destiny did AMS. I know a lot of. So historically, using AMS to drive keyword rank isn't Well, actually, Reagan, could you clarify? Because AMS is Amazon Marketing Services. So are you referring to, because AMS is the platform, but there's 3 ad types in the platform. Are you referring to headline search ads, product display ads, or sponsored products? Which ad types are you referring to? I want to clarify that because that does affect things. Reagan, hold on. I'm just going to comment and do which ad types because I want to know specific. It's all about them details. Sponsored products. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, so sponsored products in AMS. Well, it depends on if you're running sponsored products in Seller Central as well. I'm going to ask you this: are you running SP in Seller Central, or just AMS? Because this is getting mucky, which I like. Oh, just in AMS. Okay, cool. I mean, it's very similar to how people run PPC for organic keyword rank in sponsored products, right? So usually the way that most people do it is, and I'm going to go through like kind of like a checklist. Okay, so let's say you've got like a keyword, like, I don't know, like a white keyboard, and you want to drive organic rank. And let me know if I'm not hitting anything. Some of this you might be like, oh, duh, Sean, but man, it's all about them foundations. So the keyword is white keyboard. And so there's kind of a checklist that I run through in my head, like when I'm working with people or even for client accounts, like in my head, there's like this mental checklist. So in my checklist, the number one thing is like, are we indexed for that keyword? So you need to be indexed for the keyword. And there are different types of indexation. So like in Helium 10, there's like storefront indexation. There's different types of indexation. And I actually think these tools have levels of indexation. To my knowledge, they'll have like green, orange, or red. And so you're really optimizing for whatever the best one of those is. I'm not on, I don't spend a lot of time on the organic side, but you want to make sure you're organically indexed to the best of your ability, right? Based on what software you use and whether or not you trust, that they update the data. So you need to be indexed for relevancy, number one, because you can't rank for a PPC keyword if Amazon has not indexed you. Number two is going to be, what was the second one? So it was indexation. The second one was, tracking rank. So making sure that you're using a tool that you trust to track the rank. So to track the rank of the keyword. So you want to make sure you do that as well. So have that in your rank tracker. And you also need to know, when you're looking at these tools, you need to know how often they update the data, and also, maybe a little bit about the methodology they use on the back end, just because, data integrity is really important. And then number three is, bidding on the keyword and monitoring it. So the best way to do it is to bid on it I like to use all 3 match types personally. And then I try to bid equivalent or above the 75th percentile of the suggested bid. So in the Amazon's Campaign Manager user interface, the UI, you'll see, those 3 suggested bids. I usually try to target the high end of the suggested bid or higher, because that'll put you in the 75th. Well, the last time I talked to someone in Amazon support, they said, that's the 75th percentile of the ad auction or above. And then that should help with generating sales. And in terms of organic, like the best way to do it, the other thing is like whether or not you can compete for that keyword, right? Man, I've been in so many situations where people can't compete for the keyword. That's a whole different skill set, right? That is like market analysis. So that's something that you and your team kind of has to have a good grasp on. So, whether or not you have enough reviews whether or not you have the velocity and stuff like that to compete for that keyword. That's what we find is the best way to do it. And then really like monitoring the data. That's the next piece, right? You need to monitor the sales that you're getting from PPC and organic. So what we like to see is, here's what we like to see in terms of like ranking organically. What we like to see over time. So in the beginning, let's say Reagan, this is going to be relevant, trust me. So let's say we're launching a product, right? For one of our clients. And, we set the budget at whatever per day. And we start generating sales and we see that 80% of our sales, 70% of our sales come from PPC. The other 20 to 30% come from organic. So what we like to see over time is that number trail down, because that's an indicator that we're getting strong organically. So measuring the PPC to organic sales ratio is going to help as well. So like if you're monitoring a keyword that you want to rank for, you want to monitor this. Well, you can't monitor at the keyword level, unfortunately, now that I think about it. So that's a null value. But I mean, that's an organic indicator. But I would, after you bid on the 3 match types for the keyword and you start seeing sales coming in, you might want to just monitor the rank tracker and see if it affects the rank. But also keep in mind that if you're trying to rank for a really competitive keyword, a good example is like turmeric. If you're trying to rank for like turmeric, I mean, come on, man. I mean, anybody who has been on Amazon for a little bit knows, just go. And if you don't, go to Amazon, type in turmeric, you'll see what I'm talking about. Tons of reviews. So you have to be sure that it's not a highly competitive keyword, because if it's competitive, man, you're going to lose your shirt trying to rank for it. So that's huge. So as long as you've got a grasp on that, let me see. Does that help, Reagan? I mean, does that help you? I'm going to ask, does that help? Is that clear? Sorry, my desk a little shaky. Thanks, man. Yes. Cool. Thank you for the feedback. I appreciate that. All right. Let's move on. Oh, Meg Bayamba. This is a really good question. So Meg, all right, let me create a new section for this. So I have products that are in a competitive market, and no matter how I work on the PPC, I can not get the ACoS to go down. Should I just ditch those competitive products? I'm going to give you my experience and maybe give you some other data points to look at when making the analysis. Because, over the past few years, we have discussed with clients and students whether or not they should leave a product. Like, dude, we've had companies make inventory decisions based on, partially our PPC analysis and how we looked at it, because PPC will give you huge insight into how a product is doing. And if you combine that with, whatever other metrics you guys look at, cost or whatever it is, then it really helps with determining whether or not that specific SKU needs to be, gone. No matter how much I work, I can't get the ACoS down. Should I ditch those competitive products? I'm going to ask a couple questions. Meg, are they doing well organically? The only reason I ask is because there are some rare situations where products are doing well organically and just PPC doesn't work. This happens a lot, at least from my experience in beauty supplements and baby, where a product will do well organically, but PPC, since the cost per click is so high and the price is, on the lower end, especially with supplements and stuff, it's really hard to get ACOS profitable just because of that CPC dollar amount. So let me see. Actually, I'll type it to you because are they doing well organically? Okay. Oh, the baby niche. Baby's hard. Are they doing well? Are they doing well organic? I do not think so. So they are so they're not doing well. It's just tricky. I'm going to ask, what's average monthly revenue? I know I can't answer this one without getting more data because this is kind of what's average monthly revenue. Yeah, let's do that. What else do I need to know? I need to know. So what's your CPC and price? Okay, I need to know the delta between that. We're going down the rabbit hole, Meg. It's got to be done. It's your CPC and price. Average monthly revenue, CPC and price. Meg. 120% products. LOM bears because the ACOS is 120. It's hard if I don't know. Average is 120 ACOS. Okay. It's hard, right? Like, what's CPC and what's price point? What's your average CPC and your price? And then, okay. Average CPC is $1.90. Now I would put that on the high end. Generally, I would put that on the higher end. Yeah, that's really high. And then what's your price? $1.90. What's the price of your products? So we've got 3 data points. We've got 120% ACOS, no time frame specified, which is fine. Average CPC, ACPC, no time frame specified, which is fine for now. 0.90. Revenue of products. Okay. 4,300 revenue. 43 a month. And then what's the I think I see the issue. Okay. So so we've got 2 prices given to me, $21.95, and then we've got $15.99. Okay, cool. I'm excited. Let's do a little math here. Let's say actually would be like 10% would be yeah, I see what's going on here. Even if you had like a 20%. Yeah, dude, hold on. Okay, so I'm just like running some numbers on just different like what like how much you would pay at different conversion rates. So like basically what I did was I said, okay, like if you have a 10% conversion rate, that means you convert after every 10 clicks. So if I take $1.90 and I multiply it by 10, right, that's going to give me how much you have to spend if you have a 10% conversion rate. And maybe you might have a 20% conversion rate, right, which is 5 clicks, right? So that put you at $9.50. Oh, man, dude. Yeah. So think about this, Meg. I'm going to throw some numbers at you. I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you out here. So you're paying $1.90 per click. And like I said before, if you're at a 10% conversion rate, that's 10 clicks. That's $19, right? If you had a 20% conversion rate, 20%, which is considered high, I consider pretty high on the PPC side for sure. Even at 20%, you're paying $9.50. And, $9.50, that's still pretty high, going to be a pretty high ACOS. And I doubt you're going to be running a 20% conversion rate on PPC consistently. You're probably going to run closer to 10 to 15. So I can see why your ACOS is so high. It's because the delta, and dude, we come across this all the time. This happens in supplements a lot. For me, so from my experience, this has happened with me in supplements and beauty a lot, where the delta, which is the differential between the CPC and the price is, it just the math doesn't add up for the average conversion rate of PPC pretty much. And so I would say, based on what you told me and you're running, I would consider potentially liquidating these SKUs. Honestly, you told me it's competitive and the price points, and I know you can't go up in price. Like you'd have to go up pretty significantly in price to justify $1.90 CPC, right? Because, or your conversion rate would have to go to astronomical numbers, which is unrealistic. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah, sure. Let's do it. Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Is it cool? My answers. Yeah. So Meg, I would say from what you told me, it would probably be a good idea to liquidate those products like the $21.95, the $15.99. If you told me that the average CPC was $1.90, because the math just doesn't work. The math on it. So the math on the math on it doesn't work given the thresholds that we've gotten from Amazon's platform, right? Like looking at average conversion rate and stuff like that. So, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, man, but yeah, dude. Okay. Oh man, sorry about that, Meg. I know it's a pain in the butt, man. I really, really know that this is not the best position to be in. Trust me, I've been there with plenty of people, and it's that's why I always tell people product research, man. If you could, if there's one skill set to have on Amazon, it's product research, man. It really is. All right, so let me see here. Okay, cool. Reagan uses Helium 10. What's going on, Andy? What's going on, man? It's good to see you. Yo. All right, and then is that clear? All right, let me get to the next one. Rituja, this name. Rituja, your last name, I'm gonna butcher it, man. Rituja Panderkar. My apologies. I guarantee I probably butchered the first name too, man. I'm not gonna lie. So it's a new one on me, man. So I apologize if I did. So I'm getting a lot of clicks, but my conversion rate is low. How can I fix this? Oh boy, conversion rate is tricky, right? Generally with conversion rate, what we see is it's a function of how competitive, from what we've seen historically. Conversion rate is a function of how competitive your listing is in relation to the market itself. So a good example is you see the top 10 competitors have 500 reviews, 1,000 reviews, and you've only got 10, right? Or your rating's lower, right? So we see that's a big function of it. So I'm going to ask you a couple questions, Rituja. How many How many reviews do you have relative to your competitors, to your top competitors? This is where we will use the some relativity here. So how many reviews, what is your rating? Rating, star rating. Reading. All right, let's see. How many reviews do you have relative to your top competitors? Oh, okay, Ratuja. Oh, guys, Ratuja said I correctly pronounced it. Oh, man. Whew. Victory. Oh, man. Victory. Pronunciation victory. Okay, 4.3. Okay, so you have 4.3. So your rating is 4.3. So I think it does it show as 4.5 or 4 on Amazon? I can't remember if 4.3 at the top of my head. I'm not a reviews guy too much. Entourage. I don't know if it's an Entourage quote. I feel like it would be like a Game of Thrones quote, but I don't know. Could be, Dom. And then Ratuja, tell me how many reviews, like the volume of reviews relative to your competitors. So like, tell me like let's say you've got like 20 reviews, and you know the top 5 competitors have roughly like 50 reviews or something like that. All right, Ratuja, I'm not getting any response right now, so I think I might move on. Oh man, I'm gonna move on for now until I hear back. Yeah. Man, we got so many added. We got so many people joining, man. I wish I could like say everybody's name, like, oh, this person joined, that person joined. But like when you're answering questions and people are joining, oh, my mind goes bonkers, man. Oh no, it won't let me scroll up anymore. Whoa. What? Guys, we have got an issue here. No way. All right, I apologize. If I skip your question, I do apologize, because like basically what's happening is I'm scrolling up to like the previous questions, and it stops. It'll scroll and it'll only like Ezriel. I know my man Ezriel. His is the final question that I can see. So if I skip your question, I apologize. Facebook Live, man, I don't know what to tell you guys. They don't like you to see all your comments, I guess. They have a vendetta against comments. I don't know why, but it's good. That's a good question. All right. Ezriel asks, I know you're not deduplicating. What about ASINs? Oh, wait. Not deduplicating keywords. Hey, Ezriel, we do deduplicate keywords. We also deduplicate ASINs. We do deduplicate tongue twister. We do deduplicate ASINs, Ezriel. So I wanted to let you know that we do deduplicate ASINs. We have a process that we built in our program, and I do deduplicate ASINs as well for clients, just because we don't want to copy ASINs. But with so we do deduplicate them. We'll just take whatever ASINs we have, and then we'll just run that dedupe formula against each other. So we do that. Israel. All right, I'm gonna have to go. If I skipped your question, I apologize, man. Like, it's only allowing me to go up so much. I'm gonna stop writing comments to people, like replying to people, because it's messing up the whole game here. Hold on. All right, so Danielle Heptonstall. What's going on, Danielle? Danielle, getting results as usual. Hey, Sean, is there any reason why we shouldn't use a larger date period of 14 to 30 days when we run our PPC agility formulas twice a week? We do it like that to avoid wastage on smaller accounts, but unsure if this will affect bids too much too quickly. Wait, larger date range. So, okay. So for those of you guys who have just joined Facebook Live, since this is more of like a public forum, Danielle is referring to PPC Agility. It's an Amazon PPC software that she uses. It's my Amazon PPC software that she uses to manage the accounts that she manages, because she is an agency owner. And so, and she's in our training program as well. So that's why she has access. So that's just to give you some insight into what PPC Agility is for people that don't know. And the formulas are, we use like a formulaic approach to changing bids. So we use, like, I would say, pretty simple math, right? And we just make sure you plug in parameters and stuff. So is there any reason we shouldn't use a larger date period? So 14 to 30 days, anything larger than 14 to 30 days. So that would be 31 greater than or equal to 31 days, right? Roughly. Or that's pretty, not roughly. It's actually what that means. I honestly don't think, I think you could do, I don't like to do more than 30 days because it doesn't have as much of an effect. So over time, what I've seen was, and I think a lot of people, and I've actually run this by with other consultants and like seen it on clients' accounts. Amazon's kind of an interesting animal where, like, it's a very short-term platform where like month over month we'll see keyword bid or keyword performance change. And so, and Amazon's platform changes so quickly compared to maybe other platforms. It just moves so fast. Organizations that are like 60 day for like on like 60-day bulk files. And what I saw was it really didn't help with cutting back on spend a lot, because when you use a longer time frame, it includes like let's say you're using 14 days originally, and then you use like 45 days or 60 days. Let's say you're using 60 days. That's an additional 45 days worth of data. So like with that time frame, we noticed that keywords would perform well, right? They would perform better than if they were at 14 days. And so what would happen was, if we use 60 days, then our clients would come back to us and be like, hey, Sean, you know, why is this keyword still bleeding even though we've been running bid management? And it's because I've been using such a long time frame. And, you know, keyword performance, like it varies like in very short time periods. And so that's why I don't use longer time frames for ACOS management, not for ACOS management. But I think for cutting bleeders, using a longer time frame is fair, because then you can cut like those kind of like silent bleeders, like keywords that don't get a lot of traffic, but, you know, like in 2 weeks, like let's say you use 14 days, they only get like 3 clicks, but in 2 months they get like 12 clicks and no sales. And so I really think that like using those longer time frames is good for cutting those like silent bleeders. Does that answer your question, Danielle? I'm gonna write that in. Does that answer your question? I hope so. Sad. Okay, new comments. Perfect, thanks. Okay, cool. Thank you, Danielle, for the feedback. Really appreciate it. And thank you for the question. And thank you for your time and attention, because I know you're busy. I know you're busy out just getting results floating in the world, getting results for people. I like it. Let's see. Luke asks, Luke Sturton, isn't it okay to run unprofitable ad campaigns if PPC makes up low number of overall sales? This is a really unique question. I've never had this question before. This is a good question. Hold on. Let me kind of go through in my head, because we've never I think it is okay. I think there are circumstances where it's okay. Now, I would say that the circumstances where it is okay is in really competitive markets, like beauty or supplements, right? Like if you're in a really competitive market and you have a well-established product. I've actually been in this situation with people who are in supplements and they've been selling on supplements for a while, like a long time ago, and their products do well organically because they have all these reviews. But PPC is just like it's a monster, and it eats all our cash. It's the cash eating monster. And so I would say it is okay to run it unprofitable if it makes up low, if given that it's a really competitive market. Now, if it's not a competitive market, then you should be profitable. But I would say in that situation, it's okay. And really what you're going to do, what I recommend, because I've talked to people who are in like these really competitive markets that, their product does well organically, like they ranked pretty good for these keywords, but the PPC is just horrible. And I actually recommend kind of like either capping the daily budget or bringing down your budget. Like you want to make sure, like a good example is like capping it at like sometimes we'll have situations with clients where we need to cap our daily budget at 8% of total revenue, right? Because we only want to give 8% of our total revenue to advertising. In that situation, I think it's good. And really, when you're ranked really well in a competitive market and PPC isn't profitable, then minimizing the decreasing the PPC to organic ratio is what you're looking for. So like if 40% of your sales come from PPC, then you're going to want to decrease that down because, they're not profitable, right? Like you can't get them profitable. So I would say it's okay in that situation. And we've dealt with those situations before, actually. So yeah, I think that would, yeah. Let me see if Luke, does that answer your, Brandon, love it, dude. Hey, Brandon, Taylor came up with silent bleeders, man. Just a heads up. Hey, Luke, answer your question. Hold on. Question. Cool. Sometimes I feel like I'm an old guy when I'm like, you guys are watching me and I'm like, does that? I'm like, how like you, trust me, I can type pretty good. Okay. Appreciate it. My pleasure, Luke. I hope that helps, man. I hope that, kind of gives some insight into what I've experienced and it helps you make some good decisions. Oh, hold on. Luke. All right, we got Luke covered. I am not. Love it. Artusia correctly pronounced. Artusia. Broad match. Wait, hold on. Igor, what's going on, man? How are you? All right, I got your question. What if we have asterisks? So what if we have an asterisk in the broad match in the bulk file with keywords when we pause into keywords? Asterisks? Let me see something. I think I've seen it. Hold on. I'm gonna give me 1 sec, Igor. I want to pull some data real quick. Yeah, just give me 1 sec because that's interesting to me. And I think I've. So under the keyword, there we go, found it. I knew I would find something like this too. Yeah. Here, give me 1 sec, Igor. All right, cool. So yeah, figured that out. I was wondering, I knew I'd seen this. I didn't know they filled it up with that, but that's just, so Igor, what if we have in the broad match? Hold on, in the broad match. Match type. Hold on. Okay, cool. So it's, okay. So if you're looking, so Igor, let's imagine that we have a bulk file right in front of us. I actually do. So I don't need to imagine it as much as if you don't have one, you can go find one though. So I'm looking at a bulk file right now. And what I did was column L, which is keyword or product targeting, I filtered just to show the asterisks. And you're right. If you look at column N, it says broad match. But if you go over to the campaign itself, you'll notice that every single campaign is an auto campaign. And so, I mean, I've never done this and I don't know if it would work, but I don't think you'll be able to pause the keyword because, like, I kind of see where you're going with this, right? Like, if because it's not identified, right? It's not an actual keyword, it's an asterisk. And so there's no unique identifier for that keyword. Every one of them is an asterisk. And that's just because it's an auto campaign. So from a technical standpoint, I don't believe you can actually pause the keyword itself because there's no unique there's no unique identifier. Like, you know, white keyboard and blue keyboard, you know, they're unique from each other. But if you have all asterisks, you know, you can't pause them because, you know, they're not unique. They're the same. And I think I don't know why they fill it in there, but so I don't think you're able to pause those because they're product of auto campaigns. So because I looked at every asterisk and I put auto in my campaign name for everything. As you guys know, I put auto. And so I can just scan, you know, I think it's like, how many auto campaigns I got in here? I got a lot, probably like 50, 60. So, and all of them are like that. So, okay. So you're saying that one is eating our budget the last 5 days because we don't know the way to pause it. Oh, gotcha. Okay, cool. So Igor, so this is an auto campaign. We've already deducted. So using our logical deduction resources here, we know that it's an auto campaign. So let's go down the tree here. Which specific targeting type is it? Which targeting type is it? Which targeting type is it that is eating budget or is which targeting type is it? Let me go down to the bottom. No. Yeah, I kind of see what you're saying here. Keyword. I think you're going to have to look at the, hold on. Let me pull up that file again because let me see something real quick. All right. So we've got I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna unfilter, filter equals. Let me do something real quick. Give me 1 sec, Igor. I'm gonna answer this question, man. This is gonna be a good answer. All right. Because I kind of know, I know what you're saying. I understand, like, you know, what, yeah. But okay. So, gotcha. Okay. So, Igor, here's what's going on, man. So okay. So what you're seeing is that you're seeing the asterisks and then you're seeing the broad match key, the keyword, right? But the thing is with auto campaigns, if you look at the record types in the bulk file, so take a look at the for that specific campaign that you're seeing that eats the budget, take a look at the record type, the campaign record type. And guess what you're going to see? If you compare that to the keyword, look at the data in the campaign record type. And then if you compare that to the keyword data, the keyword record type data, they're the same. And so Amazon, it's not the best, probably the best way to do it, but so the keyword's not eating up the budget. It's that campaign itself. So it's the campaign, not the keyword. You know what I mean? Does that clarify? Is that clear, Igor? Let me ask. Clear. Okay, here we go. Let me check. Okay. All right, Igor, update me. Yeah, take a look real quick. I'll give it like 30 seconds or so. If I don't hear back, I'll hop into another question, but I'll come back to it, Igor. How many reviews? Okay, cool. Okay, Meg. Okay, hold on. Not sure. Let me check. Meg asks me a question. So Meg asks, is it too late to enter Amazon to new sellers? Is there room? I feel like there is none. I don't think it's too late to enter Amazon. I just think that you have to be more technically savvy. So like you have to understand the platform. Like you have to be really good at product research. And I think you do have to have more money. Like I think you have to have a significant more investment because it's way competitor. It's way more competitive than when I started. I haven't been on it for as long as some people, but I've been on Amazon for about 4 years now, and the landscape has changed drastically in that 4 years. I mean, it's there are some industries that never change, but Amazon just moves quickly, and so I will say it's a lot more competitive than it used to be, Meg. but I can't speak on it in a detailed manner just because number one, I don't sell on Amazon and I don't like launch SKUs and stuff. And number two, I don't have like a program on how to sell on Amazon. It's not my specialty, but I will tell you from where I was now to where I am, or before to now, in terms of working with Amazon sellers, we've seen that it's a lot more competitive than it used to be. There's room. It's just a lot more competitive. Whoa, somebody messaged me. All right. Does that answer your question, Meg? Sir. Get a response there, and then we'll go on ahead and what if we have, okay, we've got that one. Igor already answered that. Got a question. Tyler Rodriguez, welcome, Tyler. Got a question. So I'm doing a lot of PPC in the clothing vertical. Tricky. I segment different colors into different ad groups. Most of them have the same keywords. If I'm running, okay, hold on. So clothing. I wish I was not writing on this desk. My desk is a little shaky. Clothing. Colors. Most of them have the same keywords. Same keywords. If I'm running two ad groups with the same keywords, so same keywords. Okay, two ad groups, same keywords in different ad groups. Will I be competing against myself in the same auctions? That is a very complicated question. And here's why. It's tricky, right? Like, yeah, I mean, like, okay. So let's say you have like product A, so A, and then B. I mean, dude, honestly, like whether or not I can confirm this fact, I don't know. But if we look at the nature of the platform, it's a yes, kind of, right? Because now will it drive up CPC and stuff like that? That I don't know, because relevancy is a factor as well as competitors. So will you be competing against yourself in the same auctions? It really depends. So let's set up a scenario where it would happen. So let's say you've got two products. You've got product A and product B. You have two ad groups. You're running the same keywords. Now, there are a couple assumptions we need to make. Number one, that they have the exact same sales velocity. Number one. Number two, they have the exact same PPC performance as well. So that includes ACoS, sales. Because I want to look at like, what if they're the exact same product in terms of performance, but they're different colors? Now, in that situation, like if they're the exact same and the listing's the same, they're organically indexed, then most likely, yeah, because, Amazon's going to see them probably very similarly, and they're going to you're going to compete in the auction a little bit. So they might rotate and stuff like that. But it's still kind of hard because of because there's so many different ad placements, right? There's like top of search, middle of search, bottom of search. There's in-listing sponsored products, so there's different ad placements, and those placements are filled based on a person's bid and relevancy. Those are the main ones, like bid and relevancy, and then relevancy can be broken down. So I would say you would be, I would say, yeah. I mean, I haven't pulled the data on that, two ad groups, but I don't know if it's like a bad thing or a good thing. But let's say, Tyler, you have the scenario that I gave you where the products were the exact same is an unrealistic scenario. It's most likely that you have these two products, right? So you've got product A and product B. Product A performs better than product B. So product A is going to perform, it's going to get more traffic, and it's going to do better in the ad auction. So this one's hard. It's not like I don't think it's quite black or white, right? Like it's a gray thing because there are so many different factors that play into it. That's why it's good to look at the metrics. So I would look at your numbers, right? Run those two side by side, use the same exact bid, and then pull like what's the CPC. So I think a good test to run would be like, let's say you've got the same keywords in two ad groups. You got two ad groups with the same keywords in different ad groups, right? What I would do is make sure that these keywords, the bids are the exact same in each ad group, and then measure performance and see how they do. Like look at CPC, look at, sales, impressions, clicks, look at, top to bottom, funnel, the top to bottom of your Amazon funnel metrics, CTR, conversion rate. And then you can kind of decide based on data, which one performs best, because we would do that. Like we would run two products and we would do the same keywords and the same bid and the same match type. And one of them would perform way better than the other one. And it's because the one that performs better is doing better organically, maybe has more reviews, higher rating. But if it does well organically, it's going to outshine a product that doesn't do as well organically. So I know it's kind of a long answer, but yeah, all right. Does that answer your question? Answer your question. Cool. Yeah. And it's always good, even if like I tell you, like, let's say I tell you like, hey, will I be competing against myself? I could say yes, but I always encourage you to run a test. And that's why I gave you like a good way to determine that stuff. Because you want your own data. I mean, your own data is the best. I think you want to get data from other people as well as a starting point, but then start pulling in, like use someone who's been there before to help you set up a study or a test, and then you pull it. All right, Daniel will be in. Hold on. Oh, okay. Oh, silent bleeders. Do I have any? Oh, Tyler asked, do you have any advice for the clothing niche? I only had one. I'm not gonna lie. In my career, I've avoided clothing just because it's quite the pain. It's just so you know, so mainstream and traffic and all that stuff. So I would say my advice to you, like what I've done was like in clothing, I really I liked focusing on, like, let's say you're selling shirts. Don't ever bid on shirt in an exact match type, or, I mean, I don't even know if you should do phrase. Maybe you could do phrase, maybe phrase and broad, but do low bids. I'm really conservative with the bids in the clothing space, especially if they're like, very mainstream clothing, because I feel like it's going to be like pretty high traffic. So that's one piece of advice. And then segmenting things down into sizes and colors is really important. So like it's super tedious, man. Like you can use like concatenate and Excel and stuff like that, or you can use like word generators, but making sure that you segment it down into like, blue blazer, blue small blazer. And it's such a time suck, but it's kind of the only way to do it, right? It's because if you try to bid on blazer, you're going to like lose your shirt. And so out the gate, bidding on those long tails, man. That's what I would say. Out the gate, bidding on the long tails. That's what I would do, man. Because that's what I was doing. Like when I was working with the client, I was like, hey, man, let's bid on those longer tail ones out the gate. Like, you don't want to use like your general keywords to gather data, like for converting search terms. It's not the same approach as if you were in most other. It's just it's a beast, man. It's an animal. All right. Does that help, Tyler? Let me. And then if you're doing autos, I would do low bids as well. All right, I'm gonna massive value. Thank you, man. Huh? Thank you, man. Massive value. I like that. Massive. I like that you use the word massive, man, to describe the value. That's That's the goods right there. Okay, cool. Okay, so so Ratuja. So if you guys don't know, for those of you who have joined, Ratuja asked, he's getting a lot of clicks and no conversions on his PPC, and he's asking, how do I increase conversion rates? So what I asked him was, how many reviews do you have relative to your competitors? Number one, and number two, what's your rating? Because those are the two that generally kind of like, are kind of like the main ones that I look at. So you've got 3.3 out of 5 stars. Oh, 3.3. 5 customer reviews. The competitors have more than 60. Hey, Ratuja, I would say, I think I know why you have low conversions, man. You have 3.3 out of 5. You got to get that rating up, man. I mean, get your rating up. Get your rating up. Now, easier said than done, right? I mean, getting your rating up, I can just tell you to do it, but it's so hard to do. Trust me, I know, guys. Amazon has changed. You can't do giveaways and stuff like that. But get the rating up. I would get the rating up. I mean, obviously, you need to get your reviews closer to your competitors, but that rating, 3.3 out of 5, that would destroy you. And let me tell you why. Because I've worked with clients, and what would happen is like, we would see an increase in ACOS on our charts, and I'd be like, why is there an increase in ACOS? And then what I would do is I would go to the listing, and I would see that we saw a decrease in our rating by like a half a star. So it went from like 4.5 to 4. And then I was like, whoa, like it's crazy, man. Like just a half a star will decrease your conversion rate and increase your ACOS. So, and then I would, obviously like be like, hey man, like, when do you think we can get the rating back up so that we can start converting some more? Get that rating up, man. That's why you're not converting, because of that rating. Oh, wait, I was thinking about ranking. All right, so Luke says, I was thinking about ranking purposes in early days of products too. Hold on. What's the question? Hold on. Hey, Luke, if you get a chance, could you clarify that for me? I was thinking about ranking purposes in early days of products too. Sorry if I don't remember like what it was, if you don't mind. You get a chance. All right, I went through there. Okay, Ratuja asks, is taking keywords from brand analytics beneficial for the campaigns? Yeah, it is. It is beneficial. Yeah. As long as you deduplicate them. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's beneficial. But rating first. Oh, yeah. Cool. All right. Okay. Tom. One campaign, multiple ad groups that are targeting. Oh, okay. So Tyler Rodriguez has another question. Didn't realize there was a typo, but to clarify, I have one campaign, multiple ad groups that are targeting the same keyword. However, each ad group is a different color so that I can laser in on what colors do well and don't. Am I going to bid myself up? Tyler, this is a good question. So the way that we've handled those situations, because I remember working like back when I was kind of like new to it, like new to PPC, and I was just like a young pup, and I was like, hey, like it's probably a good idea maybe to try bidding on like our like keywords, like certain keywords for all of our variations, to see which ones work better. And boy, that was a mistake I made because these products were already established and stuff, so I didn't need to do that. So what I've learned was, if you're going to because what it sounds like what you're doing is like each ad group has a different color, right? So let's say you've got blue, black, blue, black, orange, green, red, whatever. And you're bidding on like shirts, like all these different colors of shirts, and you're bidding on shirts. And you're running traffic to all of them. That's probably not a good idea, because what we like to do is we like to look at the business report. And the business report is what tells us which variations we should bid on. Because I like to go over the business report, and for those general keywords like shirts, like for those general keywords, I like to run traffic, keyword traffic, to the best selling variations. I don't like to run it to all of them. And I actually don't like to if you have existing business report data and you have existing sales data and these products are established, you don't need to run traffic to all of them to see which ones performs best, because we already know for a fact that if it performs well organically, it's most likely going to perform well in the advertising side. We've seen that over and over again. So when you're running traffic to those general keywords, pick your top selling products. Don't pick your poor performers. Now, when it comes to the long tail stuff, like if you're bidding on colors and sizes, you can run those to all of your variations, because they're very specific. And so it's more targeted, and the conversion rate, the chance that the conversion rate will be higher is higher. Sorry guys, something in my eye there. All right, I'm going to ask, does that answer your question? I'm going to go down it. He might ask something else. Huh? Man, I got some people in here, man. Got a lot of people in here. This is cool. This is really, really cool, man. Keyword. Wait. Mihaita. Just pause or reduce bid. Hey, Mihaita. Which question? Sorry, man. Wait. Hold on. Oh, man. This is really weird. Guys, I'm learning something every day. Like, it won't let me, reply to Mihaita, my buddy Mihaita. What? Huh. All right. Daniel. Huh. All right, guys. I don't have any more questions. I learned a lot about Amazon, or not Amazon, FB Live by doing this. Cool. I'll wait another 30 seconds or something. And then if we don't have any other questions, we'll wrap it up. It's an hour and 13 minutes. I booked it on my calendar for an hour and a half. So I'm happy to see that my forecasting mechanism is, close. But yeah, dude, this is awesome. If you guys have any questions, pop them in. If not, we'll just jump off. Cool. Yeah, we'll jump off now. Guys, everyone, we got Stacy. My wife Stacy has joined. Hey babe, how you doing? Hafiz, Tanner, my cousin Tanner, him, Lauren, Aaron, who is sitting right next to me, has joined as well. Paul Jones, Christian, Moshi, Chris, Emma, Lavella, Andrew, Brooke, Ted, Ioana, Aaron, Talitis, Mihaita, Dan, Ben, Dahlia, Sneha, Pukar. That's all the people that I can see, man. All the people that I can see. Thank you, Dom. Thank you, for the feedback. Dom, you are amazing. Seriously. Thank you for the feedback. And I'm going to pop in a heart emoji, man, with a star emoji, with a fire emoji. All right, guys. I'm getting totally off topic here. And actually, somebody commented, "What up, cousin? Love this, man. Keep it up. Thanks, Tanner. Appreciate it, man." Oh, thank you guys for coming today's Q&A or Amazon PPC Q&A on Facebook Live. I hope I was able to provide value for you, and I hope that the people that ask questions and the people that listen can take my information and take action on it and get results from it, because that's what we're here for. And I'm going to do these weekly now. I'm actually going to get a whiteboard. It's actually supposed to be delivered today. I have markers and stuff. So we're going to do like an Amazon PPC Whiteboard Friday. It's kind of a nerdy thing. Like I used to be in SEO, and there's this company called SEO Moz. They used to do Whiteboard Fridays for SEO. So in homage of my former SEO days, I think I'm going to do that. Thank you guys so much. And if you guys have any questions, just reach out. Bye. If you end this live, you'll be able to choose if you want to save or delete it. Sorry, I'm sorry.